For decades, income tax has been a fixed part of every working person's life. But what if that changed? Donald Trump is proposing a bold shift that could completely rewrite how Americans are taxed and how much they take home. Do you think eliminating income tax is a genius move or a dangerous gamble? Let us know what you think in the comments. President Donald Trump has reiterated on several occasions his desire to abolish income taxes entirely, proposing to substitute them with tariffs. Such a move would represent one of the most profound reforms to the tax code in decades and could result in substantial savings for many Americans. Naturally, the government still requires revenue, so the tax framework may transition towards a blend of tariffs and sales tax. Even if the IRS isn't completely disbanded, Trump has suggested the possibility of exempting individuals who earn under £150,000 annually from paying income tax at all. Here's how much could be saved if income tax is scrapped. Although Trump only has authority over federal taxation, individuals still retain control over their choice of residence. Each state enforces its own tax structure. Some implement progressive tax brackets, whilst others apply a flat-rate income tax. One may also cut costs by residing in a state that imposes no income tax whatsoever. States currently without income tax include Alaska, Florida, Nevada, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, Wyoming, New Hampshire. Mississippi is in the process of phasing out its state income tax, and speculation suggests Ohio might follow suit. Certain lawmakers aim to eliminate the tax by 2030, and gubernatorial candidate Vivek Ramaswamy has pledged to abolish state income tax in Ohio if elected. While the government requires funding to operate, it may resort to increasing the money supply, an action that could heighten inflation and diminish the purchasing power of each pound. The purchasing power of each pound. A key player in avoiding inflation whilst eliminating income taxes might be the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. The more unnecessary federal expenditure DOGE can cut, the more plausible it becomes to implement major tax cuts without fueling inflation. Naturally, eliminating income tax won't be an overnight process. Firstly, it must be economically viable. DOGE is expected to play a significant role, needing to slash nearly £2 trillion per year in federal outlays to offset current income tax revenues. Following that, the administration would need to phase in tariffs and sales taxes while diminishing the IRS's overall presence. According to Treasury.gov, the federal government collected roughly £2.4 trillion in personal income taxes during fiscal year 2024. These funds must either be replaced through new revenue streams or offset via reduced public spending. If payroll taxes, which fund Social Security and Medicare, are included, the government would need to find a substitute for an additional £1.7 trillion. A national sales tax might feasibly eliminate the need for income taxes. American consumers reportedly spent over £16.1 trillion in Q3 of 2024 alone. However, the rate of sales tax necessary to compensate for the elimination of income tax could be high, potentially negating any savings. As the wealthiest 10% of Americans account for nearly half of all consumer expenditure, such a tax would likely fall most heavily upon the affluent. According to TaxAct's tax calculator, a single individual would face an effective tax rate of 16.83% on a £150,000 salary in 2025. This equates to roughly £25,245 in federal income tax, representing the amount a person might save annually if Trump abolishes federal income tax.